Hey guys, I'm Becky and welcome to another reading vlog. Today it is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and I thought that I would make a cute little Thanksgiving weekend vlog because I'm off work from now until Monday. So I figured we could get some reading done. Now, I do have some pretty lofty plans for reading, but at the same time, I might need some distraction. Friday is Ebony's surgery for her bladder stones. So I'm sure I'm going to be a bit anxious all day long. I drop her off at 8:30 in the morning and then I pick her up later that afternoon, like 4 p.m. tentatively. So I'm sure I'm going to need some distraction. I do know that I may go cut down a Christmas tree with my family that day. Possibly, that's what I'm suggesting, so I can keep my mind off of it. I definitely want to do like a deep cleaning of my house because she's had many accidents since we have discovered she's had bladder stones because she also has a UTI. So I kind of would like to vacuum every inch of my house, carpet clean every inch of my house, and just kind of do like a reset. So that is also in the cards for Friday. And then I would just love to do reading the entire time. So let's talk about what I'm hoping to read, or like what my options are for reading, rather, because there's way more than can actually get done. So currently I am reading Vicious Fae by Peckham and Carolyn Peckham and Susanne Valenti. I don't know how I forgot the Twisted Sisters' names, but I did somehow. This is book 3 in the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, which is a prequel series, if you will, of Zodiac Academy. So I am on book 3 of 5, and then I can go back and finish Zodiac Academy, which I'm really excited about, and I'm hoping I can get it done soon. These books are each like 500-600 pages, so I don't foresee it happening before the end of the year, but stranger things have happened. So I am currently reading this, so I'm sure I will read more of it, but it's not like my priority. This is kind of like a read at my own pace kind of book. I will say it picks up exactly where book 2 left off, and I don't fully remember what happened. So I am a tad confused, but I'm just rolling with it. Next, I have these two options, which is Of Earth and Flame by Elena R. Galea, I think is how you say it, and then Haunted Detroit by Nicole Beauchamp. Of Earth and Flame is a book that I had as an option for the Book Bite-a-thon group read, and I still would like to read it. It's not high on the TBR, to be perfectly fair, but it is an option. Haunted Detroit I would really like to get to. It is a nonfiction. It's only like 130 pages, and I have the author coming to my library to do a talk about this book on Monday. So I would very much like to read this book, so that way I have even more knowledge in my head, any questions I may want to ask, things like that. So that is kind of a priority. Next, I have these two options, which is The Darkness Within Us by Tricia Levenseller, you know, the book I've been trying to read forever, and Lore Olympus Volume 7 by Rachel Smythe, or is it Smythe? I don't know. I pretty much have said it all. Darkness Within Us I have been meaning to read for a very long time. I'm hoping, if anything, to get it done before the end of the year. I don't know if it's going to happen this weekend. And then Lore Olympus will take me a couple hours to read, and it's just the next installment. My friend has recently read it, and then she passed it on to me because it is our library copy. So I have it checked out now, and she did say it's her favorite installment of the series so far, and that has me so excited because I love this series. If you have not read it, it is a graphic novel. It was originally a webcomic. It is still up as a webcomic if you would like to read it that way, but there are beautifully physically bound editions. I own all of them except for 7. I would like to get it at some point. And the artwork is beautiful. I love the story. It is a Greek mythology retelling, and it's fantastic. Next, I have these two options, which is The City of Dusk by Tara Sim, and then I also have The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. The City of Dusk is honestly, I don't know if it's even really truly an option. It is 500 pages. It is a adult fantasy. I think I'm like kind of up there, honestly, in terms of like intellectually. I think there's like political intrigue and things like that. My friend Anne, hi Anne, she read it and loved it, recommended it to me. I do want to read it. Don't worry, Anne, I'm going to read it. I own it. I just don't know if it's going to happen this weekend. And then The Serpent of Wings of Night. I've heard amazing things. I've heard it is for fans of A Court of Thorns and Roses and things like that. And I've been meaning to read it, so I would like to get there. And then the last two options are The Lightning Struck Heart by T.J. Klune and Lights Out by Navessa Allen. So The Lightning Struck Heart, I mean, I love T.J. Klune. I want to read some of his other books outside of the three that I have read. And I've heard really good things about this book from Chandler Ainsley. And I feel like if she likes it, and she liked it like a lot, that I will enjoy it. And it sounds like a good time. So that is like a high possibility. The one that is most definitely happening, it is absolutely happening, is Lights Out. I've heard this book is so crazy, messed up. My friend Selena has read it and is like, you need to read this book. It is so messed up, but I can't stop listening to it. And I'm like, am I actually into this? And I'm like, listen, I don't judge anybody for their reading. So I read Haunting Adeline, did not like it. Number one reason, and like the only reason honestly, is the consent between the two main characters. I am all for a stalker. I'm all for a scare kink. You can honestly make me believe anything. My huge big problem that I cannot look past with this book is the consent issue. If even just in her head, I'm fine with the consent just being in her brain. I'm fine. If she just like one time thought, I shouldn't like this, but I do, I'd be fine. The fact that she is extremely terrified, doesn't want it to happen, says the word stop, says no, is not okay with this, is terrified of telling her friend about it because she's worried her friend is going to judge her for being raped, and then later on is just like, I think I like this. That's not okay. That is not okay. And I have no problem if you read it and you enjoyed it. That's totally fine with me. Again, I do not judge anyone's reading. So if you read this and you could interpret it a different way or look past it, that is totally fine with me. I personally could not. I could not look past it. And I have read other books like it since that weren't as good. Like everything else about that book is very, very interesting, and I'm here for it. But I've read other books like it that aren't as good, but the fact that they just had that very first initial contact of them in their head saying, I don't know why I'm into this, but I am. Or I shouldn't be, but I am. That's all I need, babe. That's all I need. And it didn't have it. But supposedly this book does have that. And Selena was like, if I like this, would I like Haunting Adeline? And I know how you felt about that book. And I was like, I guarantee you're probably not going to like it because her and I are very similar in our taste of books. And I don't think that she would like it. I don't know if maybe she could look past it. Like, I would definitely recommend her trying it, but she was very much like, please don't judge me. And I'm like, absolutely not. I need to read this book so bad. So that is 1000% happening this weekend. I think realistically, looking at my TBR, I'm probably going to read a little bit more of Vicious Fae. I'm definitely reading Lore Olympus Volume 7. I'm definitely reading Lights Out, and then I would like to read, if anything, either The Serpent and the Wings of Night or The Lightning Struck Heart. Like, I think that's like, honestly, and Haunted Detroit? Yeah, Haunted Detroit, which I feel like is super doable. So Lore Olympus is going to take me a couple hours. Haunted Detroit, I could read like a little bit each day. And then, I think I have the ebook of it as well. And then I plan on listening to Lights Out because I heard that is like a wild way to read it. So I think I'm going to listen to it, which should only take like a day or two. And then if anything, I can at least start either The Serpent and the Wings or The Lightning Struck. So that's kind of like my tentative little silly goofy plan. We will see where this night takes us. So like I said, it is Wednesday night. It's technically Thursday morning. It's like 2 a.m. I worked a half day today, and then I went and hung out with my best friend, Ro, and now I'm finally home. I need to eat my dinner. I know. I need to eat dinner, and I might do some reading, but I'm not positive. I think my reading might start tomorrow when I'm possibly at my mother-in-law's for Thanksgiving breakfast. I don't know what I'm going to start. So it will have to be an ebook. I definitely don't think I can read Lights Out, especially listening to it, at my mother-in-law's, because I mean, I'm definitely going to be like, oh my god, and then I'm going to have to explain everything, and I'm fine with that. Like, I have no problem explaining like the crazy stuff that I'm reading, but do I want to? Will my mother-in-law judge me? I don't know. Or she's gonna be like, what? Like, I think she's just gonna be like mind blown that those are even options to read. I feel like she would enjoy a nice dark romance, honestly. Yeah, so I'm not positive on what I'm gonna start. I probably am not going to update you until tomorrow night, to be perfectly honest. Or if anything, if I have time in between, because I'm going to my mother-in-law's at 11 a.m. and then I'm going to my mom's, I think it's either 3 or 4. So yeah, but hopefully we can hang out together. We can read some interesting, good books. I'm hoping for like 5 stars all around on everything this weekend. And hopefully we can get Ebony nice and healed up. But all right, I'm gonna eat some dinner. I will check in with you guys tomorrow. I'm so excited for food. Hey guys, it is Friday. As predicted, I did not get a chance to update you at all yesterday. But we had a really good Thanksgiving day. Went to my mother-in-law's and had a good time, and then went over to my mother's house. Had such delicious food. We have so many leftovers. This morning, we dropped off Ebony at the vet. She was having a really, really good morning, in really good spirits. Didn't give too much trouble to get in her backpack so that we could go to the vet. Dropped her off. And then I got a call not too long ago that her surgery is done. They were able to get all of the stones removed. They're sending them out for testing. They ended up having to extract not just the one we knew of, but 2 additional teeth, so 3 teeth total they had to extract, a full dental cleaning, and now she is all done. She's coming out of anesthesia and is doing really good so far, just a bit groggy, and in just a little bit I will be to go and pick her up, and I'm so excited to see her. I have been like obviously worried as like a cat mom, but I've been feeling really good about the surgery the whole time, of knowing like she's in a lot of pain, this really sucks, and as soon as she can get the surgery, she will be doing good. You can go ahead, hun. Just so you know, my husband is cleaning our carpets upstairs while Ebony is at the vet. So there might be some wild noises happening in the background, so I'll try to make this quick. I'm gonna go by myself to pick her up, that way he has plenty of time to finish. I think before he started doing this, what was I even saying? I think I was just saying that like I was feeling really, really good about the surgery. I know that she needed to get this done, and that hopefully she can get all these procedures done, call it a day, heal up, and start to finally feel good, hopefully. But it sounds like everything was a success. As far as reading, haven't done a ton. Last night, though, I did start and finish Lore Olympus Volume 7. Absolutely loved it. My friend Ro, who read it and said this is her favorite installment so far, while I enjoyed it, obviously, and really liked some parts about it, I'm also kind of like, Volume 1, a sexual assault takes place. And for 6 books now, it has been our character dealing with the aftermath of that and how she feels about it, and like basically blaming herself, not confiding in many people. I think only a couple know. I think one person for sure knows, and then 1 or 2 people suspect something happened. But I was hoping in this book it would finally come out to either her best friend or to Hades, but it still hasn't happened. It is like, it's almost there, and it still hasn't happened. So I feel like while this isn't my favorite installment, like I love them more and more as it goes on, so I guess kind of it's my favorite installment, but I just, I really want her to get more of a support system so that she can kind of get through this. And she did just start going to therapy. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm sure you can guess or figure it out, but she did start going to therapy in this book, which was really nice, and I really like the things that were being said in therapy, and I really hope she sticks with it because she needs to heal. But yes, I did still give it, I think like realistically I would maybe give it 4 stars, but I'm giving it 5 stars. Like, it's the artwork, it's the storyline, it's 5 stars. So yes, that is done. Otherwise, nothing else has happened yet as far as reading, but when I get home, I am going to be starting Lights Out. I'm going to get Ebony like all nice and cozy, figure out like the medicine regimen and stuff like that, and then I will start Lights Out today. Hopefully finish it like immediately, because again, we have a lot of plans of what we are reading. Yeah, otherwise I don't think that there's a whole lot to update you guys on. I have been like running around all morning. I've had like I don't know, 3 hours of sleep maybe, because I stayed up late to try to read more Olympus so I could finally get a book done for this vlog. And then had to wake up early in the morning to get Ebony to the vet. And then we've been kind of like going to different stores just to kind of see if there's anything cool. We have bought I bought a couple things at the dollar store. There were no deals there, unfortunately. But we like ran to Walmart, we've run to Target, we've run to Hobby Lobby, which I know, I don't like Hobby Lobby. I only went because for Christmas we're making our parents something, and Hobby Lobby usually has this item in stock and reasonably priced anyways, but I was hoping maybe for Black Friday they would do a sale on this item, and they did not. So, didn't get anything there. Yeah. And at Walmart we bought like necessities. Carpet cleaning solution, pop, Tide Pods. That's it. So, okay. I think I am going to maybe, I don't know what time it is. I have no idea where my phone is. I'm going to probably do a little bit of reading, maybe a Vicious Fae, so I can start lights out fresh. And then go pick up Ebony, so I will update you once I get her home. I'm so excited. Hey guys, it is Saturday. I totally meant to update you last night, but when I got Ebony from the vet, she was very much out of it and also very, very freaked out. So I just kind of wanted to focus on her, get her home, get her cozy. I did then go to bed a bit early because I was so exhausted from having no sleep. I did wake up at I think it was like midnight. I decided to start reading until 5:30 a.m., I believe, and then I just crashed and went to sleep, and then I had to wake up and take Ebony back to the vet. So let's talk about that. Also, I'm wearing this because I desperately need to wash my hair, and I've not had a chance today, so we're just going to be wearing a winter hat indoors. Anyways, Ebony has been doing really, really good. I will show you her in a minute. We just like vacuumed and stuff. I'll explain all that. So she's like hiding right now, so when she comes out I will show you her. She looks so silly because they had to shave like her part of her arm for the IV and then of course her belly, so she looks a little silly, but she is in really, really good spirits. She's feeling really good. It doesn't seem like she's in a lot of pain. However, we did go out and buy a small litter box to keep up here because I don't want her to go in the basement right now. Like, we're supposed to be limiting how much she's on the stairs and stuff like that. And so she has been using it. She has been peeing in it. But all her and Pepe will do is have like a turf war with it where they are laying in the litter box. If anyone knows what that's about, let me know. From everything I'm Googling, it seems like either Pepe is feeling anxious, so he might not recognize her, and so he's just going to a place where he feels safe, and or he thinks she is a new cat and he's kind of marking his territory while also showing her he's not a threat. I'm not sure. I'm not fully sure because Pepe he hasn't hissed at her or anything, but he is being very like slow walking around her. He's constantly with her, like watching her and stuff like that. So I think it's more about having her trust him, because I do think that he thinks she might be new. It keeps, like right now, oh, she came out of her hiding, so now he's trying to go in. See, this is what I mean. It's just like this turf war. I think he's trying to show her that he is safe, but I can't be positive. Such a weirdo. So because of that, there's litter all over the place. So we have moved the litter box to our downstairs landing, even though we're supposed to be monitoring her stairs, because they're just kicking it everywhere. And since she isn't willing to go downstairs unless she has to, she's not laying in the litter box. And because she's not laying in it, neither is he. So I guess it's the best option. I don't know. Then we did have to take her back to the vet this morning. The vet asked me if I would call and kind of let him know if she pees, because like that was like the biggest concern, is like she needs to be peeing, and if she's not, then we need to possibly go back in and see what's going on, because obviously it was work on her bladder. So she has been peeing, so I thought we were good, but she still hasn't been willing to eat. She wouldn't eat at the vet yesterday at all, and then she hasn't eaten since she's come home. But that's not out of the ordinary for her. If she's really stressed out, she won't eat. And we have changed her food, so she's kind of on a protest. And then on top of that, she just had all the surgery done. She's in pain, and she had 3 teeth removed. So I wasn't concerned, but the vet was. And he does have a good point of like, she's hardly been eating for weeks. She's now had this surgery, and if she's not eating, it could affect her liver. There could be blockages. We had to take her in so he could just kind of like give her a once over, make sure she's doing good. And then he prescribed us a appetite pill, get her to want to eat. And then we are basically giving her wet food if she won't eat it. We're force feeding it, which sounds awful, and I was like, I really don't want to do that. But all we have to do is basically get like a baby spoon, grab some of the pate, and put it on the roof of her mouth so that she has no choice but to consume it. I expected he was going to have us like syringe this down her throat. I was very concerned about that. But no, it's just basically putting it in her mouth and making her eat it. So that's good. But otherwise, like, she's doing really good. We just gave her her pain medication for the day, and we think, if anything, she got majority of it. So we crushed it up into a powder, but there was just like, we put way too much water in it, but we also didn't want it to be sludgy, and we gave her majority of it. And like, because of the way we were holding the syringe, like all of like the sediment went to the bottom, so we're pretty sure she got all, if not, or majority if not all, of her pain medication. Sorry, she's like right over there. I can see like her legs, so I just keep like looking at her, so that's why I'm like slightly off of the camera. We gave her majority if not all of it, and it's just a pain med, and she seems to be doing really, really good. Like, she's taking everything easy, she's being smart. We haven't had to put the cone on her because they told us that unless she is messing with it, we can leave it off of her, because the vet, okay, so the vet keeps calling her fat. She is 20 pounds. She is rather big, but she's not fat. She's just well loved. And it's just because she's a very sedentary cat. She doesn't really like play a whole ton, run around. She's very calm. So that's the only reason that she is a bigger cat. But he said because she is so fat that he doesn't think she could get to her incision anyways, which is, it's basically, if you think about it, like, think of where your belly button is. It's basically like an inch or two below your belly button. So for her, because of how fat she is, she can't really get there. Like, I was expecting it to be closer, like when you get a cat fixed, so it's closer to her privates, but it's not. It's closer to her belly button. So yeah, she, you know, she's got like a little fat stomach, so like it's right where like her stomach kind of flaps. So it's like she'd have to like get through her stomach, her little chub, in order to get to it. So I think he is fine. But yeah, now I am home. I'm going to eat some lunch and listen to some more of my book. So let's talk about that. So I'm listening to Lights Out by Navessa Allen? Yeah, Navessa Allen. I am 46% of the way through it. And guys, I love this book so much. I'm so happy that I decided to start this. It sounded like a book that would be totally up my alley. But like I told you, my coworker Selena read it and was just like, you have to read this. So I decided to start it. It's the book that I was reading from midnight to 5:30 a.m. It is so good. Like, I am predicting 5 stars. I was predicting 5 stars probably like 20% of the way through it. And now I'm like, if this doesn't get a 5 star, something major is going to have to happen in this book, because it is just so good. I love that, like, basically we have these like grumpy sunshine where the female is the grump. And this boy is just like such a cinnamon roll, but at the same time, like, makes thirst traps on TikTok of him in a mask with fake blood, and has like this kind of like scare kink kind of. And it is just so good. The audiobook is stunning because the audio narrator, perfect, like the best voice pick you could have chosen. The audio quality is excellent, absolutely excellent. Multi-POV, 2 audio narrators, and it's stunning. But it's also just like crazy dirty, and there's all of these kinks, and there's so many things that like I didn't necessarily think I'd be into, but like it's such a good time so far in the book. And like, even the main character isn't really like the guy, he isn't that kinky, and he's just completely obsessed with her. So it's like she is unlocking kinks, if you will, for him, that he's like, it's just because I'm obsessed with her. Because what was the one that he was like, well, oh, I think she does something. I'm sure you can figure it out. And he's like, oh great, a praise kink has been unlocked. And then she gets upset about something like kind of quickly after it. And he's like, okay, great. I never thought that I would be into a brat kink, especially back to back. But apparently we're into it. Like, it's only because he's so obsessed. So basically the premise, if you don't know, it is a dark romance. It is following a ER nurse and a computer hacker, basically. The computer hacker has a very troubled childhood. His father is like a notorious serial killer and very, very abusive to our main character and his mom. He was given the death penalty, so like he's not going to be involved in the story at all, which is good, because I was kind of worried like that would kind of play into it. But the problem is that obviously anytime like these murders are brought up, anytime there's an anniversary, like him and his mom are just like put through the ringer of being in like the public eye. And so he became a computer hacker basically to make sure that while his dad was alive that he could never find them, that these random weirdos on the internet as well as the press could also never find them. And then it just kind of like turned into a job. The other problem is that now that he is just a couple years shy of what age his dad was during like his prime, he doesn't like looking at himself because it reminds him of his father too much. On top of that, people recognize him, so he's very much of a recluse. And then because we really truly don't fully understand what makes a serial killer, he doesn't know, like, because he was raised by his father and because he is his father's son, if like he could end up being a serial killer. So it's like very much him being kind of like afraid of things or trying things to find out if he's like his dad or not. And it's just like, it's so raw, but at the same time thoughtful, and I just love it. So something that like he has kind of gotten into is that he makes scream mask thirst traps on TikTok. And it's like, it's his way of, because he does have a little bit of like, I don't know if I'd call it narcissism, but like he enjoys being in the spotlight, but for the right reasons. Not because of his dad, not because he is getting into killing women like his father or anything like that. But this kind of like activates that personality trait in him. He is like doing it very successfully. Like he is completely ripped. He is like, 6 foot something, tatted up, shredded, like the perfect thirst trap for this kink. I'm sure you guys have seen them on TikTok. And he's enjoying it. Now, he doesn't follow anybody. He doesn't react to any comments, like them, comment, nothing. This is kind of just like an escape for him. And he uploads every Saturday. And he has a best friend and roommate who knows everything about him except for the fact that he makes these thirst traps. Because he's like, I feel like it's a little bit too far. And because of who my father is, I don't want him judging me. So his roommate has been sleeping with this ER nurse, and it's extremely casual, like definitely no ties on either side, just, a casual hookup. It's been months since she's contacted him because she gets lost in work, and so she texts him after watching her Saturday ritual of watching the newest thirst trap, and she watches these videos over and over again. She comments all these dirty things. She's created like this community in his comments of like these other people who look for each other to comment, to like respond to each other and stuff like that. And she is just like completely here for it. And she didn't think that would be something she's into, but she's very, very much into it. Now, she's never told anybody that she watches these or that she's into it. And she decides to text her friends with benefits, basically, or just her side piece. I don't know, just her casual hookup. It's been a while, so I guess I better reach out to him, see if he wants to come over. She doesn't realize it's been 2 months. Okay, sorry about that. The camera died. She doesn't realize it's been 2 months since she's hit him up, and she's like, hey, do you want to come over after work? You could dress up like this, and we could have some fun. And she sends a screenshot of the newest video of his roommate that he doesn't know in this mask. So he responds to her and is like, oh, sorry, like, it's been 2 months. I'm not into that kind of thing, and I'm with somebody now. So she's just like, oh my god, I can't believe I sent that. Like, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I also can't believe it's been 2 months. Holy crap. Like, I need to get my life together. So we switch to our other main character's point of view. And Josh, that's his name, he is playing video games with his roommate when he gets the text, and he's like, hey, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, it's that ER nurse, she's hitting me up, and he's like, oh, I didn't think that you were still with her. Yeah, no, we haven't talked in months. She just hit me up, and then look at what she just sent me. Like, this is so weird. I'm so not into this. And he shows him. So he's like, can I see that? And so he deletes it, because if he pays attention, that's their house in the background. So he's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I just deleted that. He's like, that's fine. I don't need some half-naked man on my phone anyways. Like, that's so strange. So he's like, oh my god, has she figured out who I am and is trying to expose me to Josh? Or is she a fan? And if so, maybe I could be with her. So he like uses his skills to like run an algorithm to like find anyone who could possibly be her. He finds her, that she does follow him, finds out how much she comments and reacts and saves and watches his videos over and over again. Starts reading some of her comments, which are super depraved. And he's like, holy crap, I think she's into this. So he decides to kind of test it. So he breaks into her house, films his newest thirst trap in her home, leaves the mask on her bed, And she does have a cat, and her cat does not trust men or anything, but this cat is completely obsessed with him, like wants to play with him, everything. Then he leaves, and he sets up a camera in her house so he can see her reaction, gauge, like, is she really truly not into this, or is she into it, and maybe this can go somewhere. So she comes home, she's at first very, very freaked out, and then he DMs her through TikTok and is just like, hey, was wondering if you're into this, basically. And from there, it's just pretty much like her realizing that she trusts him, even though she really shouldn't, that she is into this, unlocking all of these kinks, and then just like banter and just like the adorableness. Like, I'm eating this up. It is so, so, so good. Now, I am thinking, because we're 46% of the way through it, and it's almost like feeling like we'd be close to the end. She doesn't know who he is yet. She doesn't know that she has met him before. And he also, like, they haven't had penetrative sex with each other just yet, because he feels like he should wait to do that once she knows who he is and who he truly is as well. Which, again, like, we're getting green flags, you know? So they haven't done that just yet, so it almost feels like, you know, like that's gonna happen and then the book's gonna end, but we're only 46% of the way through it. And the cover does say, the couple that slays together stays together. And we have like this side plot, kind of, if you will, which is her life at the hospital and the horrible people that she comes across. So I'm wondering if this second half is gonna be them killing, like, you know, rapists, murderers, that kind of thing. I'm excited, because I do know, like, all of the triggers that it lists out at the beginning, like, we haven't gotten through a fraction of them that it lists, so I'm excited. But alright, I'm going to eat my lunch. I'm going to watch Lightfall video from G from Book Roast, and then I will show you some footage of Ebony in just a little bit. Okay, so just an update. I got the hint that she was hungry because she like went up to her water bowl, sniffed it, saw the other one, ran over to that one, sniffed it, and then was just like, oh. So I was like, oh my god, I think she's like actually hungry and looking for food. So I texted my husband before I started recording a second ago, and he came up and brought her food while I was talking to you guys about the book. She is eating! She's eating on her own! So the pill is working. Thank God. So that is a really good sign, because I didn't want to have to force feed her. But that's excellent. So now her and I are locked in the room so that Peppy will get the heck out and not bother her so that she can just eat her food in peace. So, yay! Excellent news. But okay, I'm going to watch G's video and then I'm going to eat and possibly just read. So I will update you in just a second. See you then. Hey guys, so I am out of the shower and I figured while I do my post-shower routine, I would talk to you about Lights Out. So I did finish it and it was so good. It was so, so good. I don't think I'm gonna really tell you anything, but just know that like the little tagline is true, but it's not like, what's that book? Butcher and Blackbird, where they're like serial killers or anything. And it's kind of like silly, goofy, while also dealing with trauma. So like if you're somebody who handles trauma and dark subjects with humor, I think you're gonna love this book, because it's exactly what our main characters do. And that's kind of like the whole vibe of the book, is like both of our characters have gone through some trauma. I feel like Josh, our male main character, is dealing with a lot more trauma than Allie is, but he like talks about it in like a ha-ha way, kind of. And it's like very, very messed up. But I absolutely loved every second of it. I had so much fun with it. I loved the epilogue. I just loved everything about it. Like, I don't think I would even change anything about it. I don't think there was anything that was annoying. And something I will let you guys know is, like I said, it is dual POV, and the audiobook does do two narrators, a male and a female, or at least a male sounding voice and a female sounding voice. But something that's really, really cool is that even when it's the male's point of view, when Allie's speaking, the female sounding narrator comes on and does her parts. So it's not like a narrator doing like the high-pitched or low-pitched voices. It was excellent. So it's getting 5 out of 5 out of 5 out of 5. It's getting 5 out of 5 stars as predicted. It may be the best book of the year. I'm not positive. I have to look at what else is on my top 10 currently, but I'm kind of feeling like it's going to take that spot. I think so. I really do. So I'm very happy I didn't sleep on this book for once. I do feel like it has been out for a minute, but like not that long. So, and I know I keep saying like, in just a minute, I'll show you Ebony. In just a minute, I'll show you Ebony. For real though, once I finish getting ready for bed, basically, I will show you her. She has been doing really good. I think the last time I updated you, she was looking for food and we put down the wet food that the vet gave to us and she was eating it. I updated you on that. But then, like a couple hours later, she came downstairs. I didn't realize that she had come downstairs because I was still upstairs in bed listening to Lights Out. And she ate some of her dry food all on her own. Unprompted, just came downstairs and started eating. So that's a really, really good sign. She's doing really good. She's been like up and around moving, but she's not going like too crazy because we are supposed to be limiting her. I did vacuum as well, which scared her downstairs for a minute, but the litter was just everywhere. Like it was all over our bedroom, over the top landing, the stairs, everything. So the only thing I didn't do is the bottom landing because that's where the litter box is now. I'm going to eventually have to do it probably tomorrow, but yeah, most of the litter's up. So now I can safely walk around the upstairs with no slippers on, which is fantastic. Yeah, otherwise she's doing really, really good. The last time that Pepe had surgery, obviously it was for a much more serious reason and a lot more trauma and just like traumatic. So like psychologically and physically traumatic. And so I'm sure he was in a lot more pain than she is. But just like coming out of anesthesia and dealing with like post-op stuff, as predicted, she's doing really well, but also as predicted, a female cat is doing much, much better than a male cat. And it seems like, how is that possible when that's how it is for humans? Like, females have a much higher pain tolerance and don't kind of act as ridiculous when like they're sick and things like that. So it's just kind of funny of like how much more of a baby Pepe is, but he's kind of always been that way. Otherwise, I have no idea what I'm reading next. Alright, I think I'm going to finish up and show you Ebony. Alright, so now I just leave these in overnight, brush them out, and then they'll be beautiful curls in the morning. So let's show you Ebony. Alright, so here is Ebony. Say hi, Mamas. So we've got this little paw that is hairless. Show the world. For the IV. And then if I could get her to, there we go. You can see her stomach has also been shaved. So she looks a little bit silly. Basically from here down is all shaved underneath. But as you can see, she's in really good spirits. She's been eating. She just ate some treats. She's doing really, really good. And that's what we like to see. But alright, I am going to get in bed, figure out what I'm reading next, and we'll probably update you tomorrow. Hello, good afternoon. It is Sunday. I am sitting at my computer so that I can edit a vlog to go up and then do some little housekeeping things on my computer. But the Goodreads Choice Awards final round is up, so I decided that we should hurry up and vote together because it ends, oh my god, it ends today. I have done hours to do this. Thank God I decided to do it today. So yeah, we're gonna do this together like we did in my last vlog and see who we pick and see if there's new ones, because like I was mentioning in the other one, sometimes there's ones in here that were never there. So also I did today pick up a vanilla Coke and I do like it. I used to not like it, but now that I like Pepsi Nitro Vanilla, I do like vanilla Coke. It's not as good as Pepsi. I am a Pepsi person, so that makes sense, but not bad, not bad. Let's vote in the final round. So we first have reader's favorite fiction. For the most part, these seem like they were all in the original. So like, is it true that I was just nuts? Possibly. I am going to go ahead and vote for Sally Rooney though. Have I ever read her? No. But my friend Selena likes her, so she gets my vote. Historical fiction. Was this Jodi Picoult there? I don't know. I think in the last round I voted for The Briar Club, but I think I'm going to go ahead and vote for Jodi Picoult because I did just see her TikTok recently of her saying that people are telling her to just stick to her books and stay out of politics. And then she just like, this is my book about female reproductive rights. This is my book about racism. This is my book. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give it to Jodi Picoult. Next is mystery thriller. I am going to go ahead and go with who I voted for the first time, which is Geneva Rose, but I do need to read First Lie Wins. It's actually right over there on my TBR cart. Okay, favorite romance. Okay, the one that I originally picked is still here, which is Bride, and she's getting it. Favorite romantasy. This is the one last time that caused a bit of a conundrum because this is like my category. I don't think, I've only read one of the books in this, which is House of Flame and Shadow. I don't think it should win the Goodreads Choice Awards. I voted originally for Restless Stars, and I think that I might. But just to have like a chatty moment here, I don't think I'm going to read When the Moon Hatched because Chandler Ainsley read it. We have similar tastes, and she was like, what the heck is this? But at the same time, like, this sounds good. Magic, dragons, romance. Come on. Maybe I'll still check it out. Fate Inked in Blood, I need to read. I've heard great things about The Spell Shop, need to read. Apprentice to the Villain, I need to read the first one. I'm hoping to read it next month, maybe. Quicksilver, I've heard amazing things, but it doesn't sound good. But, like, everyone loves it, so maybe I should try it eventually. Touch of Chaos, read book 1. Born of Blood and Ash, like I said, I want to, like, restart the series completely. No, From Blood and Ash. So this is the spin-off, I think. And I need to, like, restart the original series and the spin-off and, like, read them back to back, I think, once they all come out. Because there's just so much going on, and with having 2 series intertwined, to have so much, like, lore in both of them, like, I'm not remembering it all, and I'm kind of getting it mixed up, so I want to just start over. And then Phantasma, I would like to read. Caraval meets Throne of the Fallen in a spicy dark romantasy. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and give it to Zodiac Academy just because I know I'm going to read it and love it. Okay, favorite fantasy. Okay, so I originally gave it to, dang, I don't know where it is, but it's called, God, I can't even think of what it's called. Let me find it. Oh, here it is. It is The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. So good, so good. If you like Mulan, you will love this. Absolutely amazing. Now, that's what I originally voted for. It is not in the top 10. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it to who I was originally going to give it to before I realized there was a audiobook section and do Somewhere Beyond the Sea. Okay, let's just do it. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, sci-fi, I originally voted for Annie-Bot. I think I'm still going to. Horror, what did I vote for? I gave it to Chuck Tingle last time. Now, I heard I was a teenage slasher. Okay, see, that's a lie. I was told that this is the 3rd book in one of his series, which I hated the first book, but it's not. I didn't think it was. Lies. People are lying to me. I still think I'm going to go ahead and just give it to Chuck Tingle. Like, good for you, Chuck Tingle. God, I'm like clicking 50 billion things. Okay. Favorite debut? God, who did I originally vote for? I think I originally voted for The Truth According to Ember, I think. There's also The Eyes Are the Best Part, which seems horrifying. How to End a Love Story. I'm going to give it to The Truth According to Ember. Audiobook, yeah. Somewhere Beyond the Sea, sorry. No thoughts here. Young adult fantasy. I don't remember what I originally voted for. There are like a lot of sequels on here though, I will tell you that. I'm gonna give it to Prisoner's Throne because I know for sure I'm gonna love that series. Whereas the other ones, like I'm not sure if I'm gonna love them. Okay, young adult fiction. I think I gave it to That's Not My Name. Yeah. And it's gonna continue. Favorite nonfiction, I voted Disney High, and I'm still gonna vote Disney High. Favorite memoir was The Third Gilmore Girl, and I'm gonna do it. I almost gave it to American Scary, but I gave it to something else, and I'm so surprised that that something else is not here. All right, well, I'm gonna give it to American Scary now. I can't remember what the heck it was originally that I gave it to. Okay, we have voted, and this time, because I voted so thoughtfully, I feel like, and so like back to back, I remembered what was in there, and yeah, these were all here originally. So either this is the first year that they have put the same books, or I'm just dumb. And I'm leaning, it's probably just me being dumb. Because I could have sworn in past years, especially even last year, I remember it happening, that I voted in the final round and I was like, these were not in the original. How can they get here if they weren't in the opening round? But no, I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong. Okay, I am going to edit my vlog, do some housekeeping, like updating my reading journal, etc. I got a couple things on my to-do list to check off, 9 to be specific, Jesus. And then I'm going to eat some lunch, which we're having breakfast. And I think my husband wants to do like a little like read-in. He is reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. I love it. He's listening to the dramatized version on Hoopla, which I've been telling him to try out. He finally did try it out and was like, oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna listen to it this way. He's not the best when it comes to reading comprehension, I feel like, because I keep asking him, like, what do you think so far? What's going on in your head? And he's just like, oh, I don't really remember. But I'm just happy that he's reading, and I'm happy he's reading my favorite series. So, I'm going to get to editing, and I will see you guys later. Oh, I have not picked up anything. I did read one chapter of Vicious Fae last night, just because I wasn't in the mood to kind of like start something because I was pretty sleepy. But today, after I get all this stuff done, we're going to be reading stuff, and I'll update you then. But pretty much this vlog is darn near almost over, because Thanksgiving weekend is vastly approaching the end. But yes. Alright, check in later.